is, yeah.
Why do you need the password, Peter?
Because if we don't, then we're £10,300 in the hole.
Okay,
So,
right, we're live anyway, so now.
right, so who's got the password?
It is, I'm not sure, but yeah, we're live on air anyway.
For the
So,
Wi-Fi.
for the Wi-Fi.
Yeah.
Black rules.
There you go.
Black rules.
Wackville?
Black rules.
Black Rose.
Rules.
Black rules?
Yeah.
BLACKRULES?
Yeah. Anyway, we're live on air, so this is the Fringe. Anyway, we'll talk to Peter in a minute. I've been doing the digital Fringe all the way through, so you still can see all of that. There's interviews from all different sorts of people, and I also did a live one where I'm just asking from the audience what they want, and I'm just probably not doing it really. So today we are talking to Peter, who actually started the Free Fringe. PBH's Free Fringe. This is actually Peter Buckley Hill himself. The man himself.
Whoa!
Who is up here in the drum show, but things happen at the Fringe. So we're welcome back to being here. Did you get online?
No.
Right. So
No.
I was hoping to talk to Peter, but
If you want to throw it over here.
if you want to try it over there. So this
right,
is
here we go.
the chaos of the Fringe.
Lovely, thank you.
Yeah.
Much appreciated. Thank you.
So Ray. So is anybody here done PBH's Free Fringe as a performer or as have you seen any of the shows? Have you seen lots of the shows? You're enjoying yourself? Yeah, brilliant. So there's millions of shows, probably not literally millions, but loads of them. And really, we've got Peter very much to blame, or it's very much up to Peter because he started the whole thing. So when did you start it, Peter?
Oh, 1996.
It's a while.
I first came here in 1994, which was even more a while ago. In fact, 2 more years of a while ago, nearly, plus or minus. And then it took me 2 years to work out that the Fringe was entirely financed by the losses made by performers, and what could be done about that. So
what could be done about that?
What
You
could-
came up with a solution.
what could be done about that is basically seeing if there is a way round, thank you, seeing if there was a way around the extortionate fees that performers were being charged by middlemen and women. I think it was just men at the time. Middle people of various sorts, possibly a couple of animals as well, I know, anyway, whatever. Middle people. That was right, and what was happening and still happens is you go to a pay-to-play venue and you will see it rigged to the maximum needs of the most difficult show that is in that space. And that means lots of money is being spent on chair hire, PA hire, rigging people, and front of house staff, and so forth and so forth. All of which is paid for by the money the performer pays in rental to the space broker. Now, there's a controversy: do the space brokers actually make profits on this, or are they, like us, non-profit organisations, really? And we don't know the answer because we can't see their accounts. But either way, what we did know was the performer paid. And the performer paid a lot, 5-figure sum, usually.
Yeah.
So the answer was obviously find a space that you don't have to pay rental for. Do not rig it to maximum specification. Just need a couple of mics and a speaker.
Sophisticated we are.
That's it. Do not have front of house. You, sir, are an absolute hero and deserve an accolade. Thank you so much. And you know, professionally, of course, we'll wait to send this message until this show is over. But it's a bit of a crisis, so I'm dealing with it simultaneously.
That's all right.
And that's all part of the Free Fringe as well.
Yeah, so Peter is dealing with it live. On air. Wow.
On air, precisely, yes. And eventually I will find the button that I previously pressed. I'll wait till the next question.
Oh, right, yeah.
um,
Well, the next question was, you came up here, you with your own show, and you noticed that other people were maybe being exploited a bit.
Indeed, they were being exploited a lot. They were paying £5, 10, £15,000 for their dreams. They came here and they think, fine, I'm investing this money because I am going to meet the man with the cigar. And the man with the cigar is going to say, come here, son, or daughter, as the case may be, I'm going to make you a star.
Yeah.
And this tended not to happen. And a certain amount of disappointment was visible at the Fringe after people realised that it was not going to happen. And your choice, basically. I mean, I know I did it. I did fail to meet the man with the cigar, and I don't suppose the man with the cigar would have liked it in the first place.
I'm sorry, I don't know what I'll be.
All right, yeah.
Thank you.
Well, I mean, I was hanging around in one of the places, and I heard some people that were like a big comedy agency, and they were talking about what they did want, and it was basically people that you were recognisable voices. That if you heard your voice, so they weren't looking for any new talent. They were looking for people that were already big. So unfortunately, the man, or in this case, woman with the cigar, the notional cigar, isn't necessarily looking for you anyway. But yeah.
Yeah, exactly. So the Fringe survived on people's dreams and how much they were going to pay to support them. That is not unique to the Fringe. That happens in a lot of spheres of human endeavour. But okay, so my scheme was to reduce that expenditure essentially to the cost of accommodation. About which we can do nothing, which we could. We can't. That's going to be a problem in future years. But what we could do is get the space for free and pass it on to performers for free, providing they passed it on to the public for free. So the venue gets the drinks, the public get the shows, the public get the opportunity to put money in the bucket, but they don't have to. And the people in the middle, which is us, who make this happen, are a non-profit organisation.
It's a charity now.
We weren't
Which
then,
is
but
this
we are now
Yeah, exactly.
a charity.
Properly
Whoopee.
registered.
At the moment, this has not benefited us at all, but perhaps there are sneaky ways of making it benefit.
I think you said something about people can leave us their money, all their money in their will, instead of, so, I mean, don't dispossess your family, unless you really don't like them, but you can give it to the Free Fringe now.
Yeah, well, my family dispossessed me, so it's...
Oh, yeah, pass it on.
Absolutely. No, I'm not going to pass it on. My daughter gets whatever I'm endowed with.
Well, yeah, that's fair enough.
With a little bit left behind for a wake. But this is not enough, because it's not as if I've got rich doing this, or indeed made any profit out of it whatsoever. We are a non-profit organisation.
Saying that, some of the shows have benefited quite a lot, because if people are generous and they've really enjoyed the show, I mean, you can give what you want, you don't have to give anything, but the show before was absolutely breaking it in. People must have absolutely they had the card reader, which unfortunately I don't have, but you can give money afterwards if you want to. But it's very much, if you, I think I saw Sarah, the Northern Sarah, there's a lot of Northern Sarahs, that had said that she completely, she mortgaged her whole entire life in order to come up here, and it paid off for that, but most of the time it doesn't pay off.
No, most of the time it doesn't pay off. There's perhaps a couple of examples every year, some of which are set up, some of which may be genuine, but people come and they win prizes. It's normally predictable who's going to win prizes.
Yeah, there's a lot of PR involved,
Yeah,
which is a big expense. So we're not stopping anyone from doing their own PR, but that is a flipping massive expense.
Yes, and and these are my two worries for the Free Fringe going forward.
Is that it will become too money focused?
Yeah.
That it will only be certain people who have enough money to put into an advertising will get the people seeing it. so we lose art in the process.
Yeah.
Yes.
So that an arms race arises. The more one show spends on publicity, the more other shows feel they have to spend on publicity, and the whole thing mounts up. What we would like to do but don't know how is reduce the aggregate publicity spend across the Fringe itself. Cut down paid leafleters. Paid leafleters are a waste of money. People are out there giving out leaflets for shows they haven't even seen. What use is that? Cut down on big head posters. Again, these are expensive and above a certain critical level. If just one person does it, everybody notices. If everybody does it, nobody notices. So this arms race is a big threat to the future, and people are going to take the money we save them on venues, spend it on publicity, nobody benefits. The other huge problem is accommodation. And these new rules, laws, which I don't understand the details of, which are going to affect both performers and public alike.
Yeah, it's difficult because you want to protect the people of Edinburgh, obviously, but unfortunately, there's not necessarily going to. I mean, really, obviously, if somebody's got a 12-month lease, that's better for them. But there are other, ruthless people that are going to exploit it. Unfortunately.
Absolutely, yeah. No, let nobody ever think we don't want to protect the people of Edinburgh.
Of course we do. Yeah.
We like the people of Edinburgh, most of them. Apart from the taxi driver that got me here, he's a bastard.
But you're here.
Yeah,
That's the
I'm
important thing.
despite the taxi driver.
Despite everything, despite hell and high water, you're here.
Yeah, right, exactly. Fine. So let's forget about I can't forget about the taxi driver. Now,
Where were we? Oh yeah.
the people of Edinburgh. We protect the people of Edinburgh. But I mean, it's a student city. So why can't students have the flats for 11 months of the year and us for the 12th? Is the question. I don't know the answer to that.
It's a student by student basis. It's difficult. I think unfortunately it's got subtleties that it's gonna be a problem. So I think solutions need to be made. Really. Anyway, we're up to like 1996. No, where are we? So you were here with your show, and then other shows got involved. When did it really kick in? So that there were a lot of other shows involved.
Around 2005, 2006. It took 3 or 4 years for anybody else to be interested. And this was regarded as slightly eccentric. You're giving away a show that you could charge money for. The sense was not seen. Then gradually it came to be seen, and it made sense. As indeed it does make sense, because if you're here to perform, if you are a comedian, which I used to be before that taxi driver stole all my sense of humour. If you are.
Nice to meet you. Nice to meet you, yes.
If you are a comedian, what you want is a big audience. Now, otherwise you can break even. Now you can get 4 people paying £10 a ticket, £40, 1 in each corner. Can you amuse them? No, you can't.
Difficult.
Yeah, exactly. 40 people paying £1, same money. You can do a decent job. Most people can do a decent job. I can't. I was rubbish in the first place.
Yeah. It's and there's different styles. I mean, I'm used to no audience, and I can easily do a show with no audience because I'm not expecting them. And if there's more people there, then it does really help. Like, people came to the show that I had in here last week, and I was shocked and surprised. But people who had seen me with no audience said it does make a massive difference. So the audience is a vital part of it. Which maybe if you're not used to seeing them, you don't take that into
Yes,
consideration.
folks, you are a vital part.
Vital part, the most important part, really.
Make noises like a vital part.
Woo! Yeah, see, there's people in the audience. Can you believe it? I mean, people are not used to seeing me just in a vacuum, really. So Thank you for bringing
You
me
look
in.
jolly nice in a vacuum, I think.
Like one of those babies
I
in
have
a radio.
I have dreamed of that, but you're not supposed to know that. No,
Right.
Where was I? Yeah.
Okay, yeah, anyway, so lots of shows have got involved and it's just grown and grown and grown and grown. I mean, most of the people that work on it are like doing it on a voluntary basis. I program the theatre and the children's shows and I'm doing the digital fringe. Watch all the digital fringe shows, they're all there, you can still see them afterwards and some of them have been live. But also, you know, there's been lots of people involved over the years. So you must have seen all sorts of people that are now massive names that have worked on the Free Fringe.
Yes, yeah. And it's not true that most people are volunteers. Everybody's a volunteer. Nobody gets paid for anything.
Did I say most people? I think I said everybody, didn't I? Did I say most people? Anyway,
Oh,
everybody.
I found that.
Everybody!
It's pulling my ears.
yeah. Maybe I did say most people, but it is everybody.
Yeah, it is everybody. It's all done by volunteers. The idea, I suppose, is that Perform, instead of paying with money, pays with time and labour and
Cooperation.
contributing
Yeah.
her skills, whatever they happen to be, to the organisation. And that mostly works.
So,
It's
you know,
annoying when it doesn't, but
Yeah.
it mostly works.
I mean, technically everyone that comes, because there's some people that come back year after year and there's some people that just come back 1 year, but it's supposed to be that you sort of help everyone, you help your fellow performers so everyone works together to make it all work for everyone. Technically, that's how it's supposed to work. So, yeah, it usually does.
And
There's enough
technically, it's a collective of performers with everyone an equal voice. In practice, I am the fascist dictator that runs the collective. Or I have been. I'm now a retired fascist dictator.
Yeah.
You don't see many of those. Most fascist dictators
You
get
don't
strung
know
up from
stuff, right?
lampposts at a relatively early age.
Well, I think this shows how well appreciated and loved you are that you're still here.
Or how good I am at fascist dictating. I don't know.
Maybe.
Some of them do make it to Juan Perón. You say he's a fascist dictator, made it to old age. Yep.
Yeah. All right. Let's sort of steer away from that, really. Yeah. So you were up here with the show. You
I
got,
didn't do badly.
okay. Well, I mean, he did die in very bad circumstances, really, and probably they sort of theoretically might have done him in. Moving on, you have got your show up. You've got another performance of your show tonight.
Yes, I have at 7:30.
Wow.
Whoopee.
Whereabouts?
Plug away.
Tang Dynasty.
At
It says-
Tang Dynasty.
It says carnivore all up the side, but it's got a little sign that says the Tang Dynasty.
It's very difficult to know that it actually says Tang Dynasty. It was the last venue to come on board this year. We don't have to pretend it's the last day. So we sometimes get venues at very, very late stages, very, very late notice, and Tang Dynasty was one of them. And Tang Dynasty is one of these buildings in Edinburgh that spans several floors.
Nice.
So
So the address is Southbridge, isn't it? But it's
yes.
not where you get in.
we put Southbridge in the wee blue book because that is what we were told.
Yeah.
You can use the entrance on Southbridge that used to be mono.
No.
When we got there, got to use the entrance on Blair Street that used to be Carnival.
Yeah. Which is a little bit of a problem because I put some shows in there that needed wheelchair accessible space. So it's the trouble is there's not that many, and the person that has done that has very kindly, as people do get involved, done a big spreadsheet. So next year we'll know where the accessible places in Edinburgh are, which is vitally important and it's good work.
Yeah,
So that's Danny O'Hara. So very
It
good
is.
work.
I feel very bad about that, but we could only go with what we were told. And when I finally saw the venue, I thought we could just about have configured it on the ground floor, but there were workmen in during the day, so perhaps we couldn't.
Yeah.
But no, well, you would feel awful as well. You've got a wheelchair-bound performer. You say,
Yeah.
right, yeah, this is where you can go, and then suddenly you can't.
This has been
Of
a
course
bit of
you
an
feel
issue,
awful. I
yeah,
feel
and it's
awful.
all entirely my fault. No, I put them in as they didn't tell me that they needed a wheelchair, and I put them in a not accessible venue, and then we spent months trying to find somewhere, and I was like, hooray, it's there, and then it wasn't. It's just a disaster that I feel very bad about.
Yeah, and furthermore, yes, it's got a disabled toilet, which is
Oh.
positive, and we're using that to store all the leaflets in, which is
It's
negative.
not. Yeah.
So,
So
yeah,
if
not
anybody,
the lucky thing to do.
if anybody in Edinburgh has got an accessible venue that they want to let us use next year, that would be amazing, really good. And we're a charity now, so I don't know.
Or failing that, another venue.
Another venue,
We'll, yeah,
anything.
we'll take venues for
Just
our
take any venue,
non-disabled
yeah,
performers
exactly.
as well.
But, you know, extra. That's extra.
Yeah.
So you'll show this. You've got lots of different guests. Who have you got tonight? Have you got people yet?
Right. Yes. Well, we have Kate Smurthwaite.
Hey.
We have Steve McLean.
Yeah.
And that's who we have. I'm waiting word from the other two. We normally schedule 4 a night.
Ooh. It's a double show
It's a double-length show, yes.
with a break.
With a break, yes.
Ah.
But you know, it's the last day. We will go with whatever happens.
Yeah, exactly. Which is all you can do, really, isn't it?
Who? I don't care. Give me a 1-star review. It's not going to mean anything as of tomorrow.
That's true. That's very
Will
true.
be. Plus, I have had all sorts of stars on the reviews.
Yeah. That is interesting, though. I mean, the same show can get a 1-star and a 5-star at the same, exactly the same performance. So.
Yeah, absolutely, yes. I
Sorry.
can't be bothered.
Yeah,
Is it
no,
an interview-based show?
It's
Or is it an
No,
interview-based
no,
show?
no. It's an actual comedy show.
Oh,
But,
okay.
I mean,
with
yeah.
new 4 people each night.
4 people each night, but this is the last night, so yeah. But I mean, we'll open it up to questions. Is there anybody who want to ask questions?
Sorry.
Yeah. No. Yeah. Hello. What does?
Hi.
Yeah.
How do you choose who gets to perform in the Fringe? As in, is there a selection process?
Yes. There's an application process which opens the 1st of November every year, and then the first offers go out in the first week of January. The last offers go out immediately before the Fringe. That's
Yeah.
how spread the process is. And within that, of course, there's a selection process on the basis of the applications that we get. Now, a few people occasionally believe that it's the free Fringe, so everybody, regardless of talent, ought to have access. But we don't go that far.
And there's too many people.
For obvious reasons. We spent 28 years now teaching the public that free does not mean inferior, or does not necessarily mean inferior, that the average standard of our shows is as good as the average standard of anybody else's shows, and that means we do select, and the people who get those offers in the first week of January are likely to be highly experienced people that we know well.
But it's not just that. I mean, we've got a limited amount of spaces and places, and quite a lot of people apply and keep applying. So there's the first flush of offers, and then there might be more venues come on board, so more people can get
Oh,
shows.
inevitably, yes. Again, there's the beautiful theory that we spend the time between September and Hogmanay sorting out our venues, and then on the 2nd of January we just open up the applications and fit them one to the other. Beautiful, smooth, simple. Never ever happens that way. Never. No. Venues come on board much later, especially venues that we don't know. We hope we will retain this venue. It's been with us for many years. We can't take them for granted.
No.
But we hope we'll retain this venue, but we also know that we may lose a couple because management changes and they become a different sort of restaurant, that sort of thing, and we hope we'll gain some more, and that can happen any time, up to the Fringe start itself, like Tang Dynasty that we've just mentioned, came on board I think 2 weeks before Fringe start.
Because there are established venues that work all the way around. I mean, there's shows all the way around here, and there are other places that it's just the back of somewhere or somebody's storage room that we've that, or just, you know, an empty building that has been refurbished and we've got a bar in there. So there's a very big range of different types of venues.
Absolutely, and also a very big range of other people putting on shows at the Edinburgh Fringe who are in a position to gain venues by paying them money, which we are not. We can't constitutionally, it's in our charity papers, and anyway, we haven't got any.
No.
So,
Anybody else got a question?
How are you funded?
Say again?
How
How
are
are
you
you
funded?
how we funded? By means of panic. If
Yeah.
anybody here has any religious faith, please pray for us. We're funded in three basic ways. Sale of advertising space in our printed programme, which is also our biggest expenditure. The Weedler book, you've seen it, I hope. So we sell advertising in that. That covers about half the cost of printing it. We run benefit gigs throughout the year. We used to run a lot of big ones, but they've rather gone off the boil at the moment. And of course, as more and more people do benefits for worthier causes involving death and starvation throughout the world, then our cause quite rightly gets into context as being less important than fighting starvation and female genital mutilation and all that
Yeah,
stuff.
let's steer away from that.
Right.
Just see how much. Yeah, 26. They're too soon. There's not another show for ages. Carry on.
So yes, benefits is the second stream. Now this is the third stream. We give the performers the show space free. They take the bucket. They may make voluntary contributions to us, and I hate that. I would love us to survive on those other two sources of income first, but you know, we simply can't at the moment. Maybe with a charity status we can get some grants that would get rid of it, but we say if you want to make a voluntary contribution, dear performers, then that should be around £3 a performance, which compares favourably to what they're charged at the pay-to-play venues, but I still hate it. We don't follow up who's made that contribution and who has not, because otherwise it wouldn't be voluntary, it would be, you know, not compulsory either, but it would be coercive, and yeah, we don't want that. So although we could do an analysis, say who's paid and who hasn't, we deliberately don't do that analysis. We just look at the money that's come in at the end of the day.
Yeah.
Which means September is panic month for me, because should we not break even, I personally guarantee the loss. And again, that's a situation I'd like to get out of. Thank you.
So when we donate money after the show, does it go through FTB first and then to the performer? Or does
It
go
goes straight to the performer, and then if the performer wants to give £3 per show,
I see.
then they can.
Yeah.
But all the
but
money that you
later, at the
donate
end of
goes
the
straight to
Fringe.
them at the end of the Fringe. I mean, if you've had a bad Fringe and you don't want to give anything, then obviously.
Yeah,
but if you've had the massive,
perhaps
amazing
for someone
Fringe, you
every
go,
year.
yeah, all right then. So yeah.
There is a promoter at the Fringe, and I shall not name him or her, who actually takes shows buckets and puts them through a counting machine, and yeah,
Don't do that.
effectively takes the money and accounts it against a nominal rent for the space.
Oh, that's not good.
That is not good. No.
No, and I didn't realise that some of the free Fringe ones are actually now ticketed ones. That in the years they weren't, they are, you know, they are paid ones really, but they're still passing themselves on. So that's
Absolutely.
yeah.
There are now several promoters who advertise shows which are free to the public, and that's not the same as the way that we do it, and I disapprove. And even more who say, well, not free, pay what you want. Well, no, people can pay what they want, of course, but you know, free is free. People have the right to walk out not paying,
Yeah.
and the right not to be hassled if they do so.
Yeah. No, like.
That is very, very important. And if I catch any of my team hassling people for not paying, I poke them with a stick.
Oh, that's fair enough. Yeah.
Twice!
Any other questions? No. Yes, no. Yeah. So, have you seen lots of shows at the Free Fringe? No.
Yes.
You just got in. You just got in. Yeah.
Not this year because I've been busy
Oh.
studying and all that. So this is actually my first day and last day basically.
Oh wow! But like you said, there is still a lot. If you go to the PBH Free Fringe YouTube page, you can see quite a lot of the ones that were on the digital show. You can see two of PBH's full shows on there on the playlist, so you can see all the stuff. You
Is
can
that
catch
still
up with it.
is that only available today or?
No,
No.
that's going to be available now.
It's available.
Completely. But it's been, some of them are on demand and some of them have gone as live, and you can go and see them, so you can catch up with not everything you missed, because obviously not everything is in the digital fringes, but some of the stuff is there. Yeah.
This started the COVID lockdown.
Yeah.
Well, of course, in 2020 we could not put anything. You see, that's not even true. We were the only people in 2020 that put on a live show.
The voodoo rooms.
At the Voodoo Rooms, yes. There were 6 selected acts, carefully selected. I know, I wasn't one of them. And carefully selected acts, playing in front of an audience of the technician. And that was all, because that was all that was allowed.
Yeah.
And going out live,
Yeah.
otherwise on the stream that way. But because the technician was there and occasionally clapping, it was a live show.
Yeah.
And we were the only people who had a live show in 2020. I don't think that's going to be a big record, do you?
Yeah. Anyway, so we've got a couple of playlists, because we've been doing the digital fringe for 3 or 4 years, and there's playlists from all the years, so you can see stuff that came out that people were
I
doing.
didn't know there was a digital Fringe. That's all.
Well, yeah, there is. Yes, it's like, I think it's quite important, because we've got one performer who is American based and was putting out shows almost every day through Zoom, and they've got health issues, so they weren't. So, but they were still. Really, they were highlighting all the stuff, they were paying attention to what was happening and promoting other people's shows and getting really involved, even though they're not actually here on the ground. So that was really exciting, yeah. We had a digital venue this year where we made it so it looked like it was at the top of Calton Hill, and we screened some of them in there, and you could get like a little Sims character, not an actual Sims character, but like a little avatar like that, and talk to people and dance around. So it's quite exciting. So we got all sorts of things.
All sorts of things, yes. Don't anybody say name a sort of thing we've got.
That sort of thing.
I can't do that off the top of my head, but look,
But lots of live
we
shows.
have got 370 individual shows, 5,600 performances of those shows, and that is not even close to our record. Our record is 10,200 performances. That was in 2018, before COVID. We couldn't even get that high this year, and we would have been stupid to even try, because, exactly. The size of audiences that were there in 2018, 2019 are now no longer.
No. But I think this is the first year where it's sort of started to come back. It's not as big as it was, but I know certainly with the free shows, people have noticed more of an audience. And there's felt like more of a community with the Free Fringe people this year, which is good.
Yeah,
This I've noticed, I don't know if anybody else has as well, but I've only been here enjoying Fringe for like 1 day so far. But you see between all the acts, they're always hyping out, oh, you should go see this person because you were there nearby. Or just constantly offering encouragement as they come by. It seems to be a lovely atmosphere. One that I've definitely noticed, it seems from nods in the crowd, everyone else has too.
Yeah.
It seems a spectacular event, and I'm hoping to go back next year as well, hopefully for a
Brilliant.
long duration.
Please do. Yeah.
Sorry.
That's good. No, that's good. So we've got 1 day left. Not even that. Like
not
half a day
even
left.
that, no.
But
I've got 3 performances left,
yeah.
and then
And then that's it.
have a bath after.
Wow. Yeah, I hope it's not your only one of the Fringe. Although, you know, it's difficult to fit that in with all the other stuff that's going in, isn't it? But, yeah. So, you're looking forward to this last show of the Fringe tonight? It's gonna
Well,
be-
yeah, to the last three.
Last three, yeah.
I don't know how many are going to come to my show because, of course, I haven't been running it continuously. What happened at the end of last week was that I tested positive for COVID.
But he's all better now.
Oh, yeah, I know. Oh, I just came here to breathe on you.
Oh.
No.
But there's a strict policy
all,
here, so it's,
all
it's
better
good.
now.
Yeah.
Tested
Yeah.
negative.
Proven.
Because
Proven.
I almost said tested positive as if that was a good thing. Well, you've
Yeah.
got to think the other way
Yeah,
around.
exactly. All
For
backwards.
COVID, testing negative is a good thing.
Yeah.
Testing positive was a bad thing, and I tested positive, which was a bad thing. So I couldn't do a show for a week,
No.
which was very annoying. Probably on the lead to the audience, but it was
Yeah.
a big annoyance to me. So I did
Yeah.
the first one yesterday,
Yeah.
and I was back. So
Back. Yeah.
yeah, but not many people came because
Because they didn't know.
exactly.
Exactly.
So if nobody comes today, I'll go.
That's
Fine.
right. But you can still catch Peter.
I'm,
Did
do-
you
I'm,
Fringe?
do-
Yeah.
I'm doing 2 guest spots
Two
anyway.
get that as well. Yeah.
At the Voodoo Rooms and
Oh,
then
good.
at the Cannon's Gate.
Hooray!
Oh, right, yes.
Hooray!
So,
So yeah.
I
So
don't know,
that's
I'm plugging that.
plug it all. I mean, people might be watching and seeing. I don't know because I don't even know who's watching on the digital. But this is going out. It's going out digitally. Yay! So
There you
exciting,
go.
modern
Well.
technology, isn't it?
Hello, digits.
Yeah.
And yeah.
Manually. Yeah. So this is good. I'm glad to see you up and about and well, and just the last final push of the Fringe. So has anybody got any exciting free Fringe shows they're going to go watch the rest of the day? Got anything in mind?
There's a magic show. It's advertised to be the magic show of the Free Fringe 2023. So.
Oh right, excellent. The magic show, the free Fringe. Yeah.
Do you have more details?
Yeah. Everyone can share details afterwards and make the community spirit. Ooh, this is
Yeah, we've got lots of magic shows.
not lots
we
of
like
magic
it, yeah.
shows to be anyway. Yeah.
We
We've
like
got a
mag-
whole variety of things. All right.
Because
yeah.
that was a positive thing that I forgot to mention.
Oh, go on then. Yeah.
And we started with comedy.
Yeah.
And we're still largely comedy.
Yeah.
And because comedy works in the way that we need it to work, for comedy you just need a mic, a stage, and an audience. No fancy stuff at all. But we don't want to be an organisation that's just about comedy, and therefore we have got sections for magic, we've got sections for cabaret, we've got sections for spoken word, which I'm very proud of because the Fringe office used to hate spoken word, and it took me 8 years to get a spoken word category in the Big Fat Fringe programme.
Yeah. What else?
Should have taken 8 minutes, it took me 8 years.
Yeah.
So we've got spoken word,
Yeah.
we have theatre,
Yes.
and
Exactly.
we have a small number of children's.
Yes. With not that many children accessible venues, but we try and get them
because
in
of
where we can.
licensing.
Yeah, because of licensing.
I'm sure I've missed something.
We've got other things because we've got subcategories. So we've got podcasts and walks, and we've also got horror-based shows.
Oh yeah,
We've got horror shows.
I forgot about horror.
One particular person wanted that as a proper category, but it's a subcategory. So we've got things that are something and horror as well. So we've got quite a lot of and also's. Yeah.
Yeah, the Fringe office would take another 8 years to put horror in the Big Fat Fringe programme.
Yeah.
Took us 8 minutes.
But yeah. But I mean, if you're interested in horror,
I don't like horror.
You don't like horror because I was just going to plug horror because this venue actually does horror in October. There's a horror festival, so yeah, you don't like horror, then don't come to it. But if you do like horror, then it's in this very venue. Yeah, yeah,
That's good, isn't it? Yeah.
that's good. That, not everybody likes everything.
In
It's
future,
good.
I shall not go to things I don't like.
Good plan.
Good plan.
Good plan. All right then. Thank you very much, Peter, and I hope you feel well and your show's going very, very well indeed. Catch his my dog has Housey Smell, yeah.
How does he smell? Yeah.
And Ephemera. Whoops.
Ephemeroids.
Ephemeroids. Yeah. Sorry.
Yeah,
I got.
which is a very good title for a show that doesn't have a theme.
Yeah, and they are both available on the playlist
Yeah.
at the YouTube channel. So thank you very much for coming. If you do want to give any money towards, I'm obviously going to make my donation to. I'm not going to give all of it, to be honest, but I will give some of it. I might give some to Peter as well. We'll have a nice drink of squash or something. So thank you very much for
Sweet
coming,
drinks.
and have a
Thank
lovely
you.
rest of the Fringe.
Thanks, mate.
Bye bye, Pawns.